Hello, welcome to Studio Pixel. This is the first chapter of Adobe Photoshop, and in this chapter we are going to discuss about the selection tools and its options. So first of all, we'll start with the rectangular marquee tool, which is a very basic of selection tools. What actually rectangular marquee tool do? If you click and drag, you can select an rectangular area of your canvas, and after selecting that area, by the paint bucket tool, you can fill it up very easily. That's all we know. But we'll not exactly to discuss about these things. We will go in depth about this rectangular marquee tool and the options of this over the tool option bar. Like the first option of the selection is the new selection. Whenever I create, click and drag, and each and every time it will select a new area of the selection. Though this is the name of a rectangular marquee tool, but if you hold shift button before creating the selection, if you hold shift button and click and drag, you can have a perfect square area for selection. So that is one thing is pretty much uh, handy while creating any kind of perfect square area. But the second option, which is called the add to selection, if you select this point, you can select multiple areas for selection like this, and you can see all of my previous selections areas are still there, and if I fill up with the paint bucket tool, it will all been filled up with the selected colors. So these selections are all connected while I am creating those with the add selection option. Now what is the subtract from selection? Now before going to subtract from selection, I will definitely like to say a few things about the add selection. You can create a very cool abstract designs from add selection options. You can see that's how we can fill it up, and it can be a very good effective abstract designs that you might want to add to your designs. So that is a very handy tool for selections. Okay, now go move forward. The next option is subtract from selection. Now what is subtract from selection? It's very much exactly opposite of the uh, subtraction, the adding options. You can reduce the area even within a portion of your selected options, selected areas. Now if you fill up with colors, you can see this area has been actually cropped out. So this is not the now this is not been selected area. So that's how you can easily understand how we can create these selection areas. Fine. The next option is thus intersect with the selection. Now first I have to create some multiple selections. Let's suppose this, and if we select the subtraction, or sorry, intersect options, and I create one single area which is actually connected with the three selection that I have already made. Now if I release my mouse button, you can see the common area which has been intersect with the three selected areas. Those portion will remain, and the rest of the selection areas will be gone. Just release it, and you can see the selected areas are the common selected areas are there. The rest of the selection has been gone. So this can be also very handy for your selecting some pixels that uh, we will see the extensive use of these tools uh, when we going forwards to our other selection tools like lasso and everything. Okay, Press Ctrl D for deselect. Now we'll move on to the next option, that is called feather. Now what is feather? Feathering is like it just blurred out the outline of the selection. Now there is a condition while using feather. You cannot change the feather after you already selected the area. So if I already created one single area and I want to increase my feather, it won't help, because if you fill it, is still showing the sharp edges of the selection. So for creating feathers, you have to first set the feather amount, that is unit is a pixel, and you have to select the selection. Now you can see the corners have been rounded, and if you fill this thing with the colors, you can see the outline has been blurred out. So this thing you have to remember, that you cannot use feather after making the selection. You have to set your feather value before you creating that selection for the marquee tool or any kind of selection tools. So that is feather. Now anti-alias option is not uh, uh, active while using the marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool. If you When we'll discuss about the elliptical marquee tool, we'll cover that up, because elliptical marquee tool is elliptical marquee tool actually supports the anti-aliasing stuff. So moving forward, next portion is called style. Now first option is the normal, second is fixed ratio, and the third one is fixed size. Now what is that fixed ratio and fixed size and normal? Now first is the very pretty old fashioned selection. Now what is a fixed ratio? Now that is fixed ratio. You can see the same thing happened while we actually created uh, by holding the shift to making a perfect square. The height and width amount, the ratio of the height and width, I can set it over here. If I want 2 is to 1, here you can see 1 is to 1. That means this side, this width and the height are same. Now Control D and make it the width is double than the height. Now you can see it's always been a rectangular shapes. That means this portion, that means the width is double than the height. That's where you can easily create some proportionate, if you have your proportionate designs concept, and you can select those area according to that proportion. That is fixed ratio. And the third option is the fixed size. Now what is a fixed size? Fixed size is absolutely fantastic, because if I want to create, this is very useful for the website designers to create the divisions and everything. I want some pixel by some pixels you know selection, like I want 64 here. By default this is 64 into 64. Just have to hit, you don't have to click and drag, you have to just click, just one single click, and your selection has been done. Now like suppose there is this uh, we already know that websites, we have the size of advertisement, that is a skyscraper, there's 160 is width and the 600 is the height. So if I want to create the exact amount of selection, this is the higher, wider skyscraper selection that we actually see in the websites. Even you can see in some banners, banner ways and everything. So those are the, so that's how you can fix the size of any kind of selection. So this is the fixed size option. These are the three options. These are very handy for creating the selections and everything. So that's it. Now we'll move on to the next option, that is called refine edge. I will just change it to normal, and after selecting the area, just click on the refine edge. Now immediately you can see this turning to the black and white, because I have already selected with the on black option. You can see the default selection. You can see as a mask, quick mask, but here I can I'll just use it with the on white, on black option. Now what is this? You can see immediately the radius, the corners of the selection has been uh, rounded up. You can reduce this, and you can just upsell it by selecting the feather and smoothness. Oops, sorry, I cannot expand, or you can change the expansion or uh, contraction option. Just increase first. We'll start with the refine edge options, radius. So increase the radius, and you can see the edge has been started feathering. The similar option, almost similar option of feathering, but there are some differences in feathering. Now I can use the contrast for creating the hard edge from the outside. That is actually creating the rounded corner of your selection. You can smooth them out by increasing the smooth amount, and now you can use the feather option but for creating those uh, for more smoothness for that selection. And if you hit OK, and if you fill up this with the color, now you can see your edges has been rounded up, and your selection has been intact. So this is another option. There's another way to create the the smooth outline, or rounded outline of any kind of selection. And even you can refine the area of your selection, like how many percent you want to add. Now percentage 23%, I want to increase my already selected area. So that's how, for with the help of contract or expand option, we can increase or decrease the area of selection that we have already made with a a proportionate order. So these are the options that are really very helpful while we create select any kind of pixels or area of the picture or anything, or you want to create any kind of designs. And so these are the details about those tools option. So hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much.